Welcome to I Feel Fat Today. I'm your host, Kelly Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me. It is the new year, first episode of 2024. Give it up for the new year. Give it up for the new year, everybody. Hell yeah. We got some celebration happening in the background of this episode. Okay, awesome. So we have, starting off the new year, we finally got someone emailing into the podcast and looking for advice. And so let's give them some advice. Hi, Kelly. I hope this email finds you well. I'm a dedicated listener of your podcast, I Feel Fat Today, and I found so much comfort and support in the discussions you have around body positivity and self-love. I appreciate the open and honest conversations you bring to the table. With the holiday season now behind us, I have been struggling a bit with the post-holiday I feel fat mindset. The festive gatherings and delicious treats have left me feeling a bit out of sorts, and I'm not sure how to shake off these negative feelings as we enter the new year. I was wondering if you could share some advice on how to navigate this challenging time and shift my focus towards self-care and self-love. Do you have any tips for embracing a positive mindset and setting realistic goals for the new year without falling into the trap of extreme diets or self-criticism? Your podcast has been such a source of inspiration for me, and I trust your insights on these matters. Any guidance or words of wisdom would mean the world to me as I embark on this journey towards a healthier and more positive version of myself in the coming year. Thank you so much for your incredible work on this podcast. Aw, you shouldn't have. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Best, Haley. Well, Haley, first, thank you so much for writing in. Thank you for being my first listener, for sending me an email. I'm looking for some advice, and I'm happy to provide you with some. What you are speaking to, this feeling of, post-holiday blur, we're going into the new year, I think, with this pressure of having to be our best selves and go hard at like Whole30 or Dry January, and all of that is great if you want to do that. But don't feel the pressure to make these like obscene 180 life changes if that, doesn't work for you. I know that feeling all too well of just feeling like, I call it amorphous blob, at the end of the holidays. You sort of, Q4 is all about indulgence, and, especially after the holidays, during the holidays, after the holidays, the week in between Christmas and New Year's, you're sort of just sitting around, binging on the rest of the Advent calendar that, you lost track of and didn't open on all of the specific days of the week that you were supposed to. And now you're sort of sitting here feeling like, you need to do something drastic to turn things around. And, we're also in a time in society where you're not allowed to, say that you feel fat and it be a bad thing. But you're allowed to do all of that. You're allowed to feel fat and have it be a bad thing. You're allowed to be in your feelings and feel those feelings, because I think that's where a lot gets lost. A lot of people don't want to feel the feelings, and you don't want, not you specifically, but it's, we as people, let's say me, we don't want to explore why we feel negative about feeling, say, fat. And I, through therapy, and I'm not saying you need to, go through any kind of intensive therapy to figure this out, but personally speaking, I found that the negative connotations I had with feeling fat was laced with a lot of shame, a lot of childhood minutiae, we'll call it, to not use the abuse word. But it was laced with with these feelings that had nothing to do with being fat, if that makes any sense at all. And I found that through really sitting in that, investigating those feelings, I was able to not just completely self-flagellate in those feelings. And I think that's where it starts. We're used to a society and where diet culture is fostered, and I think this is the time of year, all year is a time of year for diet culture to really like rear its head and fester. But I think this idea of a fresh slate, January is the Mondays of the year. Like diet starts Monday. I'll start the diet Monday. Like I'm going to go crazy Thursday to Sunday because my diet starts Monday. And I think that's how we view January. Like we view January as this reset. When really January can be a reset, but not for the way that we're used to, not for the way that it's always been treated. If you want to say start Weight Watchers in January, that's great. Start Weight Watchers, but don't go into it with this feeling of, I'm not going to fuck up, because you are going to fuck up. If you go to if you are somebody that is like, I'm gonna do dry January, and then you have a friend's birthday in the middle of January, and you have a drink or a few drinks even, or you get blackout. Don't get blackout, but if that happens, I feel like people quit. They're like, well, I said I was gonna do dry January, and I drank in the middle of it. That means I'm not gonna finish it. You don't have to have that all or nothing mindset. So when you ask navigating this challenging time and shifting your focus towards self-care and self-love, I think the first place to start is to not fall victim to the all or nothing mindset, and to go into however you approach this rebirth month, this fresh start month, knowing you're going to mess up, knowing that you're going to fall off of a diet if you decide to stick to one. Let's say you do 75 hard. That's big in the TikTok world, this lifestyle adjustment of 75 hard. Let's say you miss one of the 2 workouts, which is already a big ask of people. 2 workouts per day, one inside, one outside, especially in the winter, depending on where you live. That's already a big ask. So you mess up. Let's say you mess up for a week and you don't do any working out for a week. That doesn't mean you have to stop 75 hard because you messed it up. So you missed a week of 75 hard. You get back on it. And you don't even have to move the goalpost. You don't even have to say, okay, well, now my 75 hard has to stop on this day instead of this day because I missed these days. Don't do that to yourself. Just recognize that you're a human being and you're going to make mistakes. So to not get trapped in this self-criticism and, get trapped into these, diets that are unsustainable, my advice in a phrase is to give yourself a break. And on top of that, furthermore, feel your feelings that you are feeling, because I get the sense that you're uncomfortable. You're feeling like you're a bit out of your skin. Understand that. Feel it. Explore it. Cry if you have to. Reach out to a friend and tell them that you're feeling this way. They may be feeling that way as well. And use this as an opportunity to try something new and set some goals. And that's what we're going to get into now. I'm going to show you the goals that I've set for myself to all my listeners. And we're going to work it for the year, because I think that's the key to resolutions, to New Year resolutions, is to not have it be just something that you set at the end of December or the beginning of January. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. Goals are something that you need to track and you need to maintain and you need to keep working at and tweaking. So we're going to take a look at that. Before we get into that, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/IFeelFatToday. Check it out there. Give us a subscribe. We have full video episodes where you can like and comment. I'd love to know your thoughts. Head over to Apple Podcasts to give us a rating and a review. 5-star review over there would be helpful. If you do leave a review, you will be featured on the I Feel Fat Today Instagram. Just note, I do blur out your username to not put you on blast, as the kids say. And you can send us an email if you would like some advice, dear listener, as Haley has done. Send us an email at ifeelfattoday@gmail.com and follow us on social media, where you can learn of updates with the podcast and, stay up to date on the episodes that we have out each week. Follow the podcast at I Feel Fat Today, and follow me, your beautiful host, Kelly Taylor, at Hello, This is Kelly. All right. Yes. Okay. So going into my goals. So we're going to take a look at my goals. Now, I don't have my ideas fully flushed out yet. I will say that. And I thought like, oh, this is kind of going to delay me recording because I am wanting everything to be perfect, and that perfection, this idea of perfection, is part of why I feel like I had a delayed start in getting this podcast out to the world, until finally, and through the coaxing of a lot of different people in my life, many friends just telling me, just start it. What are you doing? Just start it. It doesn't need to be perfect. You'll figure it out as you go. And that is what I'm doing with these 2024 goals. Okay, so you can see on my little note that I have here in my phone, I have overall goals, and then I break things down by month. Now, I just want to note that these goals are going to adjust, and they're going to change, and things are going to be added and maybe even removed as the year progresses. So for overall goals, my goals overall are focused on stand-up. That is, if I, had to look at 2024, I'm going into my 5th or 6th year of doing this. This is my 5th year of doing stand-up. And in my mind, even when I started, I kind of saw year 5 as the turning point for me, where the culmination of all my hard work would come together. And so that's why for overall goals, what I want to be focusing on, which is a huge departure from what I'm used to, which is usually having overall goals exclusively pertaining to my weight and my lifestyle. So for overall goals, I have voice record every stand-up set, which is sort of a continuation of 2023 goals. And I did that. I would say I recorded probably 95% of the time that I got up on stage, which is great. There were just instances where I forgot to hit record, but every single time I went to get up on stage, I did it with the mindset of I'm recording this. So voice record every stand-up set, and then second, video record every stand-up set, which I did not do. I'm very bad at video recording my stand-up sets, and you see that I have a little sub-note that says by camera, because I like to voice record on my phone where I have my notes of my set. And then for video recording, I really only get a video of it if Joe happens to be at the show and he can record me, or the venue that I am doing the show is video recording and will subsequently send us the video. So my goal for 2024 is to purchase a camera that is like the purpose of the camera is to record my sets. And then the third overall goal is to update goal tracker sheet, which is this sheet right here. So I created a sheet much like this one for 2023. I took a few things out that I don't feel that I need to track for 2024. But this was super helpful because this sheet details the number of sets that I've done in a day, the total time spent performing. It keeps track of the money that I spent performing. So that's like $5 for an open mic, the gas to get out to a gig, whatever the case may be, however much it took to spend getting to the gig, and then money earned while performing. This is just to keep track of what did the year look like as far as income for stand-up, which at this point, for 2023 at least, was very inconsequential, but still something worth keeping track of, I think. Not enough for the IRS to get involved, just saying that. And then, of course, keeping track of my wake-up time, because I am on the ever-persistent goal of waking up early, which for 2024 I have not done yet, because the earliest I have gotten up at is 8:30 in the morning, and the latest I have gotten up is 9 a.m., which thank goodness for a day job, I suppose. And then a little field for feelings and movement, which as I'm looking at this sheet on the 4th of January, I have not filled those pieces in, and my brain wants me to just throw it away. My brain wants me to be like, okay, well, I didn't put in those 2 pieces of information, so that means that I am not allowed to continue on with this. But that is not true, okay? This is here only as a resource to me. So the only person that I am failing in just scrapping the whole sheet because I've missed a few days of filling out information is myself. And we're not going to do that this year. That is out in 2024. Okay, going back to here, wrapping this up, you'll see I have different goals per month, and I also break things down by quarter. So going down to Q1, I have January. So for me, January is when I want to get my doctor's appointments in order. Okay, so that's like if you're a lady, the gynecologist. If, you haven't gotten a physical, call a physical. If you've been meaning to get a therapist on the books, find a therapist. January is your month to do this. January is also the month that I try to get everything to my tax guy, because as I've explained previously on past episodes of this podcast, I have an aversion to paperwork, especially ones pertaining to taxes. If you really want to freak yourself out when it comes to taxes, either read The Situation's new book, which I have not done yet, but what I did do is watch the breakdown of his book and his interview on Celebrity Memoir Book Club with Claire Parker and Ashley, I forget her last name, but check that out if you really want to freak yourself out about taxes and getting them done. You will get your shit together, or do shrooms. If you ever owe the if you owe the IRS money, if you owe the government money, do shrooms, because you'll get them done the next day. Okay. So this is just a little, I have a day job, stuff for my student loan, which I hate to be a scabber, but I've been paying my student loans. I have not been one of the 9 million people that have not. And fun fact, I did overdraw my bank account with my latest student loan payment. So there you go. I have nothing to say about that besides existential dread. And then the last goal of January is for my podcast to book February guests. If you are a loyal listener of this pod, you will know that sometimes you're just sitting with me, which is not one of those episodes. We do have a guest this week, but other times we have consistent guests, and a lot of that is due to scheduling errors. And I am just a last minute kind of person. So I'm really going to put every effort into, before I go into the month, having the guests booked, because I don't want to bank a lot of episodes, but I do want to know what the schedule is going to be. And I think I can get like a really even higher caliber of guests if I do book them out and not, kind of fly by the seat of my pants. So that's why I have the goal on there for at the end of each month. Okay, moving on to the rest of Q1. We have, if it'll populate for me here, February. Remove movement documented in the goal tracker for January, and from there develop a movement practice. So I want to use January as a chance to track, like, what is my movement if I'm not putting any thought into it. Something that I need to add to my sheet if I haven't done it by the time I put the screenshots into the video is, I went on a 45-minute walk yesterday. It might have been actually closer to 60 minutes, but I went on a 45-minute walk because I had to walk to the bank, and the bank is far from my apartment. And so I want to document like that movement that I did and see, okay, so if I find that 5 days out of the week, I unconsciously went on a 30 to 60-minute walk, how can I then now intentionally input that movement practice into my life for the months moving forward? So that's what I want to do for February. I should add in here that I'll need to do, doctor follow-up in February if needed. Hopefully it's not needed, likely will be needed. And then podcast, book March guests. And then March, finish a book, because my goal, I should have put this in overall goals. I'll go back and add that. But overall goals, read a book a quarter. So my goal for 2023 was to read was to read 5 books by the end of the year. I think I managed to get in 3 or 4. I know I read The Midnight Library, I read Julia Fox's book, and I read another book. I forget. I definitely read 3 books. So I'm like, let's meet in the middle at 4, right? So finish a book. I just have that as the goal for the end of the last month of each quarter. So for Q1, that is March. Review Q1 stand-up activity to take a look at, how many times did I get up that quarter? How much money was spent and made? Mostly my focus is getting up. But, that also can give you a really good sense of accomplishment and can be a really good barometer for the rest of the year. Like, okay, I got up 60 times this quarter. Let's try to go for 75 the next, or, just always getting better from the quarter before. And then podcast book April guests. And then as we go into the next 2 quarters here, you'll see for Q3 and Q4, I don't have any other goals outlined besides my podcast and finishing a book and reviewing activity on my goal tracker sheet, because I don't know what my goals are going to look like in the second half of the year. And that's why your resolutions and your goals for the year shouldn't just be something that you set at the very top, unless there's like this big, I want to film a special by the end of the year. Maybe there's something like that. But I'm gonna be tweaking these and referring back to this note and adding things. Maybe as the months and the quarters progress, I'll include something about hitting a certain number of subscribers, which we are rapidly growing, by the way, on the YouTube subscription. So thank you all that are subscribing. It really continues to keep my morale alive and consider this podcast something that's worth continuing. Because I do think it is. And so those are the goals for 2024. I'll keep you updated on where I am with everything. And something else that I was thinking about adding was, I got this idea of tracking goals monthly by going on TikTok. If I want to get an idea or get inspiration on how to do something, I don't care if this is something that I should be shameful about. I shamelessly go on TikTok and I type in goal tracking or resolutions and seeing what the people have to say. And there was this one woman in particular who I can't remember, and I won't credit, but just know you're out there. This is not an original idea. She broke things down by months for the year 2023, like January, health, February, money, March, love. Like, she went really broad like that, which I did find helpful, like in my brain to, kind of categorize things like that. And then I saw she had posted a video for 2024 saying, those goals in 2023, breaking them down like that were helpful, but they were kind of lofty. And then so for each month moving forward for 2024, she broke things down very more drilled down, which is how I got this idea and presenting it to you on the podcast. Okay, I got to wrap things up. All right. And the one other thing I'll say is that another creator on TikTok I had saw bought little mini champagne bottles. He bought 6 of them and wrote a goal on each champagne bottle. And he was able to, once he hit said goal, was able to pop the bottle and relish and celebrate in him completing that goal. And I wanted to have that done and created and show you my goals by this episode, but I didn't get to it. But that doesn't mean that just because I am now, in the middle of the first week of January, it doesn't mean that I can't do that. So I'm going to do it. I just have to identify the 6 goals, what I think would be, worthy of writing down and putting on a champagne bottle for me to then pop and, rejoice in celebrating, or rejoice in completing rather. And we'll go from there. Cool. I have a few in mind. They're all podcast and stand-up related. So I'll let you know what those are, because I don't particularly know. Okay, I have been talking for too long. I am excited to bring on my guest for my very first episode of 2024 on I Feel Fat Today. He is a guest that has been on before. He is a repeat offender, and I love him very much. He's very funny. This episode is very tame. Not a lot of riffing, but a lot of mulling over things. And it's a very chill listen. Don't expect to, laugh your ass off, but it is a nice listen, I think. I don't know. Okay, please welcome my guest, Joe Gorman. Thanks for being here.
Of course. Can't think of anywhere I'd rather be.
Yeah, you have spent a lot of time on this couch today.
Yeah.
Which is not a value judgment. I think that's great.
That's part of my New Year's resolution was to spend more time unwinding, relaxing.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and doing the podcast. You're always there for me when I'm woefully unprepared.
You know it.
Whether it's filling in as a guest when I've mismanaged the podcast scheduling or talking me down from a mental breakdown because my schedule's gone off the rails and now I'm needing to be talked off a ledge.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Part of my role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. What resolutions do you have?
Not a whole lot. I guess it really is just enjoy doing stand-up comedy.
Okay.
And I feel like it's so easy to get into the routine of like you just get booked and just go through and get your sets and, get your numbers up and maybe like film something.
Yeah.
But now it's more of like enjoy just being on stage, making people laugh, like living in the moment.
That's good. My resolution is to get booked.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Well, not specifically that.
Oh, we already got a show lined up in Connecticut.
I know. You're good at looking at the positive side of things because I'm like, wow, I'm not booked this week. Like, you look at it as us having a show in Connecticut at the end of the month. I look at it as I'm not booked this week.
Mm.
You know?
You gotta look at the big picture.
Yeah, that's true.
You have like a Google Drive where you have all your old sets. Look at that. And
Yeah.
look at all the shit I did last year,
Yeah, so my resolution, I don't like resolutions.
Yeah.
But I have set up, and I've gone over this at the beginning of the podcast, but my resolution is, my overall goals is to voice record every set, is to video record every set.
Okay.
Obviously, because I want to get a camera.
Yeah.
To video record. Not a nice one, just one that can house them. And I have it written down. Voice record, audio record. Keep that Google sheet updated. Because I keep track of each time I went on stage in a day, the amount of time I spent on stage. And on that same sheet, I have like feelings and movement, which are not stand-up related, but like feelings is like, I was sad today, I was happy today, and then movement is just like went on a 30-minute walk or did Pilates, whatever, just like keep track of the movement that I've done.
Yeah.
Because for me, like stand-up and feelings and movement are all tied into one.
It's all connected.
It's all connected because I can't have a clean house, a thriving stand-up schedule, a consistent podcast, a good social life, and an exercise routine. Like if it's a pie chart, I feel like I can't get all of them. It's like, you got to date a guy with like money or,
a guy that looks like me.
A guy a guy who's, it's like money, family, faithful. Like you have to choose 2 out of 3,
So you decided to sacrifice money.
Yeah, totally. I make the money, so I don't need no man's. I also look at you as getting in on the ground level.
Yeah.
Like that's legitimately how I look at you. I'm like, well, he's bound to be successful. Just if you could get successful based on talent alone, like you should be, worldwide.
Yeah. But it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
Who do you think controls that?
Whoever is on Epstein's list.
Yeah.
And I want to know.
Who do you think is good? Who do you think is going to surprise us on that list? Because there's always like one celebrity where you're like, what, really?
I think I don't know who exactly, but we had a lot of celeb deaths in 2023.
You think there's any correlation between that?
Well, I don't know about correlation because I don't want to start sounding crazy here, but I do think that someone beloved, man or woman, probably man, that died in 2023 that we were all like Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, okay.
Like I think someone beloved that died in 2023 is going to be on the list, and we're going to be like, God damn, allegedly.
Yeah.
Do you think the list is? It should be dropping any moment now, right? It said January 1st.
That's the rumor.
At midnight, and today's the 2nd. I've been all fucked up on what today is because we had off yesterday from like real job work. So
that's true.
I don't even know what today is.
It's the 2nd, January 2nd.
It's January 2nd, so the list should be out.
Yeah, but it's not. Or if it is, it might be like it's available to government officials, but it's not public knowledge until like
Oh.
who knows.
Yeah.
I think Tom Hanks is on that
You
list.
think Tom Hanks is on the list?
It just he seems too nice otherwise.
I think Danny Masterson is like if you had a bingo card, you know
Yeah.
how on a bingo card there's a star that's just like
Yeah,
a free
he's a
space?
free space.
Yeah, he free space. Absolutely.
Who else would be on that list?
Maybe just known Scientologists,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Probably, maybe.
You know, just I think I think you're going to see a lot of Scientologists. Ooh, Ethan Suplee. He's a Scientologist.
Oh yeah, and he lost all that weight.
And he lost all that weight. There's bound to be kids to find him hot now.
Yeah.
Right? Who lost
Now
all
that
that
he's
weight.
all, like,
I
strong.
should have him on the podcast. He lost a lot of weight.
You should, and then ask him if he's on the Epstein papers.
Yeah. I really don't like I find out someone's a Scientologist and I get really upset.
Why?
Because I feel like I've binged enough information on Scientology where I'm like, oh, man. I guess when you're a celebrity, you don't see, like, maybe you're a little bit more immune to, like, the child abuse that happens. It's, like, the same way I feel about the Catholic Church, just, like, kids getting hurt.
It's like, oh, bummer, but what can we do?
Right.
Like that?
I guess, but, like, with Scientology is so much, like, such a new religion, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I hate how they don't pay taxes. I hate how they just ostracize people when you're no longer in. It's a cult.
Yeah.
It's a cult, you know, which they suck. Yeah. So who else is in the Epstein files?
Oh, maybe some directors.
Some
Maybe
directors.
like Steven Spielberg.
Ooh, you think Steven Spielberg is on?
Maybe. It's got to be
James
somebody that's
Cameron.
like so front-facingly good,
Right.
you know?
Right. I think Tom Hanks is definitely a good one. I'm trying to think like a name.
Maybe like Jim Carrey, you know?
Oh, though you're getting into names that would like kill me.
Yeah.
You know, Robin Williams. Do you think he died before the raping started?
I don't think he was
happening?
like that high up.
Yeah.
Because I think like even though he was like such like a well-respected actor and to an and like, you know, a definitively great comedian,
Right.
I don't think he was like high enough up there to be like an influencer in that sense.
Yeah.
Because like people like that saw his dramatic work, they were like, "Oh, that's very good for a comedian." Like I feel like he's only been considered a great actor for a comedian and never just a great actor period.
Right. 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 That's true.
Like the way you know, just like Anthony Hopkins is considered like a great
right.
actor.
Another guy that could be on the list.
Ooh. Yeah, he's so sophisticated.
So sophisticated.
Michael Caine
You're
is
right.
probably on the list, you know. Hugh Grant definitely.
Yeah. Anybody with a British accent,
Yeah.
let's just say, is on the list.
The entire cast of Harry Potter.
Yeah. The entire cast of Harry Potter. Not J.K. Rowling, but people would still hate her.
Just like she knew.
Yeah.
They'd find a way to just hate her more than the
yeah.
people actually in trouble.
Um,
Too busy dead naming people to fucking name the people on the list.
Who's the guy that plays Axelrod? Imagine like Damian Lewis is on the list.
Well, maybe it was like after his wife died and he
He needed to let off some steam. Totally. He gets a pass.
Yeah.
He gets a pass.
The entire cast of Billions.
Yeah. The entire cast of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Just all of our favorite shows.
All the shows we binge.
Yeah. Larry David.
Nah, he would never.
He would never.
He'd make
would
such a big
never.
deal. Like, I don't want to get on a plane.
Yeah.
it's a private one. I don't know.
There would be some kind of bit like it that we're going into the last season of Curb. Maybe
That's
they do a
true.
bit about he's on the Epstein list. Or
Aren't they
something.
they're gonna do something with the fact that his wife Cheryl is engaged to a man married to a man who's running for the president of the United States of America.
I don't know if they because that doesn't Cheryl's not Cheryl in like Cheryl Hines
Right.
and Cheryl whatever her name is in
Cheryl
real life.
it'd have to be Cheryl David.
No, she's Cheryl Hines. Is Cheryl Hines her real name?
Yeah, Cheryl Hines is her real
Cheryl
name.
Hines is her real name,
And
and
then
so
she's
it's
Cheryl David.
It's not Cheryl David. It's Cheryl something else.
Well, does she not take Larry's name?
No, it's Cheryl. The cat is sitting on my computer. The cat is licking his genitals. I wonder if it's in frame.
I hope not.
Cheryl
That's pornographic.
Bestiality podcast. Cheryl Hines Curb. I need a producer.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up. Gumi, pull
Jamie
that
is
up.
just my pointer finger.
Yeah.
Cheryl Hines Curb.
What's her name?
Her name is Cheryl David.
I
But
was
she
right.
has- but
You
she has-
hate the fact that I was right, and you delayed your podcast 5 minutes to look up.
5
and just,
minutes is a stretch, okay?
You thought you were
Cheryl
so ecstatic that I was wrong.
David maiden name.
I bet they don't even talk about it.
Oh. Just Hines. You were right. This is the fight we would have in real life.
This is we are having a real fight. Turn off the camera. We just have a jump cut. You're icing
beating.
yourself.
That should be a resolution of yours, to hit me less.
No, never.
Come
If
on.
anything, my resolution is to hit you more because look how ornery you are.
Oh, okay. Honorary.
Yeah. You need to be taken down a peg.
Impressive, Joe.
You need to be taken down a couple pegs. My little juice bar.
I could do something to you with a peg, I'll tell you that.
All right, grow up.
All right. Have you ever set out to do a resolution that has like come to fruition fully for the year? Like, when do you peter out?
It's usually around March. Like my goals are usually like comedy related, so I feel like I'll go through with that. And usually it's just like be more satisfied with how I'm working, being aware of like what I'm putting in, like knowing when I need to like, up and put in more effort and when to like, pump the brakes a little bit and slow down.
Sometimes I feel like I'm too good at letting myself slow down.
Yeah.
But I always feel bad about it.
Well, I think there's like, bad, but then like you also focus. Like for me, it's like, okay, I didn't go out tonight, but I'm doing this podcast with you.
Yeah.
I have a mic lined up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And a podcast. And then I have another podcast on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then
so that's a full week.
Yeah, and then I got a show on. I'm hosting on Friday.
What are you hosting?
I'm hosting at Flophouse.
Oh shit! It's really frustrating that we will go to the same events together, like same spaces that hold open mics, and you're the one that gets booked on shows.
You just need to be like, I'm Kelly Taylor. I'm Joe's girlfriend. Please book me.
No,
Why?
never. I'm never gonna.
Why not?
Present myself.
I
as
command
Joe's
you to
girlfriend.
do that.
No.
Why not? Just say hi. I'm Juicebox.
Especially because I knew the people that do Flophouse before they knew you.
No, they're my friends.
Okay. Yep. Just like I knew the people at Stone Street before they knew you.
They're my friends.
Back when the old booker was doing Comedy Shop, I knew the Comedy Shop owner before you. Not owner, but booker before you.
They're my friends.
The people that give us road gig, the person that gives us road gigs.
Yeah, but but
I always facilitate those. Yeah. Just so
what are you worried about?
God damn.
What?
I'm looking at a Christmas decoration that has not been put away.
Oh, the lights?
Yeah, I put away.
Aren't we gonna? Well, we can like just put those back up.
No, I don't want to do that.
Why not? Why don't we have year-round
Christmas.
Christmas lights in here?
Those would be fairy lights.
Fairy lights.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah. And those are red and green, so that would just look would just look amiss. I would be down for white lights.
Okay, where can we put the white lights?
I don't know.
Well, didn't we have some over by the mocktail bar?
Yeah, the mocktail bar. Yeah.
I'm glad we got over that.
Well, they're still on there. I just got to get rid of that bar cart. Even though I don't really want to. Here's my I'm all over the place, but here's my thing with resolutions is I feel like, and this is not a me thing, this is like an everybody thing. If you set out to stop yourself from doing something, the rebound of cutting yourself off cold turkey is so much worse than like if you say, okay, no candy for the year of 2023. When you break it come midway through February, you are going to like give yourself diabetes from like going so hard in the paint, or like especially with drinking. Like I do dry January if that's like your thing. I think, everything in moderation, including moderation. Like if you want to take a month out of the 12 months of the year to do something like dry January or Whole 30, whatever. Oh, Finn's hungry. Finn's doing no dinner January.
No dinner ever again.
Finn's going for Finn's resolution. We're putting him on a diet that he doesn't need. You'll when you go back to it, it's like tenfold.
You overcompensate.
You overcompensate. Like, look at you with meat.
Yeah.
You were so good about being vegetarian, not eating any meat, and now look at you.
I eat meat every day.
It's like you're eating like liver and pate and like crazy meat.
The meat you're supposed to eat.
What did you eat at the diner with your dad?
Oh, I had it was corned beef and tongue.
Tongue.
Yeah.
You had tongue.
Lengua.
You went from like not even taking a bite of like a pasta that maybe had some meat cooked throughout it.
Yeah.
And like when I cooked, I had to cook stuff, in vegetable broth instead of, chicken stock.
That's right.
And now you're eating tongue.
That's right. Life's wild. It all works out.
Yeah. I wonder what your cholesterol is.
Probably high. Oh,
You
well.
think?
See you in hell. See you in hell.
Do you have a life
today.
insurance policy?
I do, and you're on it.
I don't think I am.
So what are you worried about?
I don't think I'm next.
You are.
Really?
You're Gumar.
Damn. Don't tell me that. I'll get some
You're Ed
ideas.
Gumar, dude.
Yeah. You might have some unfortunate falls in front of city buses if I know that information.
So long, sucker. I'm excited. I can't wait to die.
Yeah. How long were you one of those people that when you were like 20 something, you're like, I'm not going to live past 50, dude?
Yeah, of course.
Are you still like that?
I don't know. No, I'll probably be like an old man.
Because you're in your last year of your
My 30s, yeah.
So
it's almost over.
I feel like around 40 is when people start to look at it like, oh, I have 40 winters left.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm near the tail end. Oh, well.
not the tail end.
It is.
This is when you're hitting your midlife crisis stage.
What should I do? Should I get a car?
Oh my God, was dating me at the start of your midlife crisis?
Maybe. Was it?
You tell me.
Probably not.
Yeah. Hopefully I was a level up.
Yeah.
One of my resolutions my resolutions for 2023 was to do the stand-up sheet tracker thing, which I did. I completed it for the year.
Oh, nice.
And
what was your total?
It's embarrassing. It's because it's not as much as it should be. I set out to do 300, which I'm not putting a number on it for this year.
Okay.
Because if I put a number on it and I hit a point where there's no way I can reach it,
you'll just give up.
Then I give up. I did like 111.
That's not bad.
Sets.
Okay.
Not counting the ones that like I went to get up and then they, it was canceled or whatever.
Right.
That is marked on the sheet, but it says a 0 and it's yellow. But I have the hours that I was on stage. The hours make me feel better.
Okay. Well, that matters more because, like, look at those sets where you did 45 minutes.
Right. So the longest set was 46 minutes. Come on. Okay, I got on stage a total of 114 times, and I was on stage cumulatively for 18 hours, 26 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's crazy.
So 18 hours is like, okay, like you have to like log 1,000 hours to get good at something. Like I have, 900. What is it? I can't do mental math.
It's like 10,000 hours is technically what you need to become an expert at something.
Okay, so 9,900.
Yeah, but it's not just being on stage that makes you an expert at comedy. It's like
reading.
It's it's like knowing how to process humor is a big part of that, and that's like a lifelong thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to look. And I've been doing this 5 years.
Yeah.
This is the first year I started tracking it. But I do think tracking it made me do it more.
Probably.
Because I would mark in red when I did days that I didn't do stand-up.
Yeah, look at all that red.
I know.
That's crazy.
But this is the week in between. This is Christmas. I was home in New Jersey.
You could have done a set in New Jersey.
I tried.
No.
I ended up getting yelled at for trying to do that too, lest we forget. I tried. But I don't know. Just a way to be held accountable. I think that's my big thing. This is when we were in Denver.
You could have gone and sets.
I did get a set in Denver. But what I was going to do the same day that I saw Taylor Swift?
No.
I was also seeing a friend that I hadn't seen in many moons, right? Look.
All right.
It's really crazy to look at your year like this. Like a year goes by in just a few swipes. I also look at my year in quarters because I'm a corporate America girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I, could see like, all right, in one quarter.
How was your quarter two?
Quarter two, not good.
Uh-oh.
My lowest quarter, I think. quarter 2 was 26 sets. So that's 3 months. So that's like, it's a way to, like I can look at 2023 and be like, I didn't get up enough. Okay. You know, on to the next thing.
That's like a set a week.
I also, it's like a set a week. More.
Juice.
There's 52 weeks in a year. I did 114 sets. So that's like 2 sets a week.
Okay.
Ish. Come on.
That's
yeah.
all right.
All
right. Yeah. 2.2222222.
Yeah. Which I know isn't enough. I can hear it in your voice.
What? No, you do you. You're living. You have
not
to take care of the house. You have to take care of Finney.
I know. I do have, and that's another thing. Like I love cooking a nice meal for us, but like it's hard to cook and do
balance
comedy,
everything.
You know, these are all excuses. Oh, and then I also tracked how much money I made. I didn't put in the money that I made from our last gig
Because we still haven't gotten that.
because we still haven't gotten paid for it yet. So not counting that, money earned from performing, $1,745.
Nice.
Money spent performing, $483.75.
Nice. You're in the black.
In the black. Well, that's pretty good. And I can definitely say I wasn't in the black last year. I don't even think I earned any money last year. Maybe like, beer money, but nothing I mean, not that this isn't that, but
now it's becoming like more real.
still don't have to file taxes against it.
Which is nice.
Which is nice, but like not sustainable. Not that like,
Well, your job is sustainable.
I know, but you always say that, and then I'm like, but don't you want comedy to be your full-time job?
I guess so.
You hate your job so much.
Yeah.
And so I just can't picture you being okay doing that job or any job that's not comedy for the rest of your life as your means of income.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess not. Yeah. I mean, eventually I'd like to have something real, but what would that be?
Just
comedy, just touring,
having a podcast
podcaster?
that you don't quit.
I don't hate. I don't become like increasingly resentful.
Yeah.
That's the dream. But what kind of co-host could that be?
That's why you have to be like me and have a podcast that doesn't require a co-host and just have a live-in boyfriend that can fill in as a guest when I schedule things poorly.
I have a live-in Gumar.
That's true. I can fill in as your guest.
There we go.
There you go.
Joe and Juice.
Should we start a podcast?
This is it. This is the soft launch of
Joe
it.
and the Juice. We can't trademark that because there's a store.
We'll piggyback on it. We'll piggyback on its success.
Joe and the Juice. How can we make it ours? The Joe and Juice.
Nice. Juice and the Joes. Another one of my resolutions is I'm not going to cut my mustache this year.
Thank God.
Well, I'm not going to like trim it either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like see how long it gets, like Yosemite Sam.
Yeah. I think you look cool.
I hope you're right.
I think you look cool.
Take better care of myself, both physically and like even stuff like combing my hair and brushing my teeth and like get into that habit.
As we both know, I had a showering problem.
Yeah.
And I stopped at one point. Mm-hmm. But for a good 6 months I tracked how often I showered.
How often did you shower?
It got better over time.
Was it like Mia Kunis, Ashton Kutcher level of like,
Yeah.
You're a dirty little one, aren't you?
I don't mean to be, but if I'm not leaving the house and I'm not seeing people.
So maybe you should do more sets and then you'll be inspired to shower.
Yes, that does. I mean, listen, you don't necessarily need to shower for an open mic.
I mean, I think it helps.
It definitely helps. Yeah, but I don't smell.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. I shower, but I don't wash my hair.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't wash my hair.
You don't need to wash it every day.
Yeah.
You do?
No, you don't need to wash it every day. I'm agreeing with you. Why is the energy in here so low?
I don't know.
Low vibrational day. I think the real resolution, the real goal of January, if you look at goals per month, is like legitimately not killing yourself.
Just getting through it. Well, now people also have to get into shape because they have to undo the damage of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Like that's like 1/4 of the year is spent being like indulgent and eating like sweets.
But
and
I don't think
candies.
everybody does that. And I
No,
think
not everybody does it, but it's easier to do it in that time too.
it is easier to do it, but actually doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like undoing. Like going to the gym doesn't undo what you've done in those months in Q4, because Q4 is an indulgent quarter.
Uh-oh.
But you could just as easily like stop like stop eating and then stop eating sugar and crap, shittily. And go like get back on track for the new year.
That's what I should do.
Because weight loss doesn't come from going to the gym.
No,
it's all the food
it's all
that
diet,
you eat.
yeah.
It's all the food that you eat.
You can't outwork a bad diet.
Right. Which I've tried many times.
I think everyone has. Everyone thinks it's like, oh, a calorie is a calorie, but it's so much more complex than that, unfortunately.
Well, a calorie is a calorie.
Is it, though?
Yeah, a calorie is a calorie. A calorie is a unit of energy. I know. I was a nutrition major for a semester.
Oh, really? How was that?
I was just obsessed with food and trying to learn everything about it. And then I was like, wait, if I go into this field, I'll have to work in a hospital? No, thanks.
And that why you
and
moved
then
over
also
to
there
fashion?
was no way I could do chemistry. I switched to what I wanted to do. My parents weren't letting me apply to college under fashion. My parents weren't letting me apply to college under fashion, and then I was like, I fucking hate the nutrition major. And the nutrition school I got into was like kind of hard to get into.
Really?
Yeah, because the program at the school I went to was like pretty good, and I got in, and then I did a semester of it, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Damn.
Like, this is terrible. I hate this. And so then I switched to fashion. It wasn't like it was the first time I had been defiant of my parents.
But not the last.
Definitely not the last. This moving to New York was the time I was defiant. Isn't
Really?
it
They
funny?
they wanted you to be a little like
A
New Jersey turd forever.
A little Saraville local.
That's borderline abuse.
Isn't revisionist history from parents so funny?
Oh, absolutely.
Because now my mom's like, yeah, you live in New York. You've been there 8 years. And it's like, you were not too keen on it. Which I'm glad she's down with it now. And it's fine. I don't need to hear otherwise.
Yeah.
But at the time.
At the time, it was a lot.
Yeah, my dad said to me when it was like, okay, I'm moving to New York. My dad goes, see you in 6 months.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's like challenge accepted, I guess. And then I moved here with like this fear of like, I cannot move back home.
Yeah. Well, it worked out for the best.
It definitely did.
You didn't move back home.
No. I didn't move at all.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
You're setting roots.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, I have to pick up rent tomorrow.
Oh, yikes. Well, you got your money.
Yes. What else? What else, Joe?
Damn, dude. I'm just like taking it easy. Past resolutions, I don't know. I'm taking like a winter break right now. So I'm just going to try to exercise like a better work-life comedy existence balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so easy to like get into like one thing and one thing only, but like there's so much stuff to do. Even in New York, I want to take more advantage of just like being in New York, like less nights at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not doing something comedy related, I'm doing something in New York.
Right.
Because we have some stuff coming up.
We do have stuff coming up. Whether it's seeing a show, seeing a friend, going to a mic. I think any time away from the house is like productive.
Yeah.
Very productive. And I think also I have a hard time enjoying time, like when I haven't done anything I felt like to have earned it.
Yeah, you need to get your reward system lined up.
Like, what did I say to you when we were leaving that Rhode Island gig? I was like, here in the car, waiting for our Wendy's to come out.
Yeah.
This is my favorite feeling.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, I am just relishing in this. I did 30 minutes. Good set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay set. Now we're like enjoying some snacks
Right.
and we're going home.
That's the best part, going
It's the
home.
best. Oh, it's the best.
Like, staying at home is nice, but, like, knowing you're going home, what
Yes.
a rush.
That's why I canceled plans. Like, you tell me a show is canceled.
Mm-hmm.
That means on my Google sheet, I get to, it'll say 0, but instead of it being red, it's yellow.
You have the anticipation of, like, doing a show, and then you get the immediate joy of, like, oh, I'm already home, and I get to go home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's not me being home because I'm a piece of shit.
I didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice. And now it's 9 o'clock, and I don't know where there's an open mic.
There's no open mic at 9 o'clock. I feel like
There are open mics at
I
9
feel like the
o'clock.
late open mic is like becoming a thing of the past.
Yeah,
But maybe we're at this level now where it's like we don't really need to grind out and figure out where all the mics are.
that's true. That's true. I did know where all the mics were 5 years ago.
What happened?
I would say I started getting booked more, but that definitively has not happened. I just think I need to be more like, I think I need to write more
Yeah.
for sure. And I think I need to do more of like, not that this is going to produce anything because I've done this in the past, but like send a message to people that produce shows being like, sorry, I know you get a bunch of these, but you know, tell me to go fuck myself. I'll kill myself. I know I deserve it. I suck. I'm sorry to bother you. Actually, delete this. I'm sorry I even sent this. Can I do your show?
Yeah, they usually
know.
respond to that.
Not really.
Really?
Yeah, not really. Asked to do podcasts. That blew up in my face.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you reach for the stars. You know, you get burned up by the sun.
Oh, shit. Is that your saying?
That's what I think the saying is.
Oh, damn. Damn, how setting you up for failure right out of the gate.
Yeah, I guess.
That's all right. It all works out.
Also, if you don't plan a resolution, you don't disappoint yourself.
Well, and it's also like, it's not like you need to start on January 1st. It's just
That's
an easy
true.
marker.
It is and it is a clean slate. Like, I think January, obviously not killing yourself, number 1. But number 2, clean out your closet, make your doctor's appointments.
Smart.
You know, what else did I have on there? Start a book.
Okay. What
You
book?
know?
Any idea of what book?
I
it's gonna
don't
be?
have a book to start, but my one other goal that I have is to read 1 book a quarter.
Okay.
I think for 2023, my goal was to read 5 books, and I read 3. So we're going to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
Once a quarter. And so on my sheet, not on my sheet, on my note, because I have a sheet and a note. On my note, I have for each month what I want to do. And at the end of each, like for that, the last quarter of the month, finish a book. So I can finish the book in January or February, but it's, you know, listed in March.
Yeah.
And well, there was something else I was going to say about that, but I forgot. What are good monthly goals? Because it's easy to think
I guess
of goals
I feel like monthly it would be like a reduction. Like, I want to spend like less time
on your phone.
on my phone or like playing video games.
But that's like too broad for me. Like
Right.
less time on my phone. Like what I need to say is no phone 30 minutes before bed, which
I'm going to say like go on a walk, at least like a real walk. Like maybe like what I can start doing in the mornings is like take Finn on like a long walk like first thing when I wake up.
Yeah.
You know.
I do have like an overall goal of wanting to wake up at 7:30, but that didn't happen. Oh, that was another thing I tracked on my sheet last year, the time that I woke up.
And went to bed.
Yeah, well I don't care about the time I go to bed. But wake up time. I stopped tracking that last year. Do I have it on me? Yeah, I do have it. Okay, so what time did I wake up today? 8:45?
Something like that.
Yeah. Only an hour and 15 minutes after I said I wanted
All
to
right,
be
that's
home.
not bad.
8:45 a.m. Oops. All right.
And what time you wake up on you don't count?
Oh, shit. Whoops. I woke up pretty early on. See, I'm all fucked up.
I usually did get up kind of early on the first.
I got up at 9 on the 1st.
Yeah.
Because Finn kept barking to go out. Speaking of, how was our New Year's?
Oh, our New Year's was fun.
Yeah, our New Year's was great, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Our New Year's was great. I was trying to stay in an okay mood, but I was a little upset
Why?
because I have a hard time not letting comments get to me.
Oh,
You
my
know,
little juice box.
I know. And like, so what happened was I had a set on YouTube, and I don't have any sets public. If I send something into a festival or to a booker or something, it's an unlisted link. So it's public, but only if you have the link.
Mm-hmm.
But this one festival that I applied to said that the video had to be public. And I was like, I mean, if I think the set is good enough to submit to a festival, it has to be good enough to like live on YouTube, right? So I was like, all right. And I do think it's a good set. It's a solid 5 minutes. I don't know what you want from me, I think. And so I put it public, and within a day, I got a comment that was like, you look really pregnant and old, like, you know, called me a granny. And, you know, that's rough. But I do think something that makes me feel better is like screenshotting it and like putting it on my story to be like, fuck
own
this
it.
guy.
Yeah,
you know? And I did respond to it without any malice, without being like, you're mean, fuck you, blah, 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 because that does nothing. That only makes them happier. It just makes you look like a fucking loser.
Yeah.
So you either have to ignore it completely, or you do what I did. You respond to it and you ask, but how was the set?
Nice.
And then they respond saying that it's not bad.
There you go.
And then you have a very loyal follower that was very kind and wrote nice things about it. But then I look at, you know, they comment nice things, which I really appreciate. Shout out to you, Alex. But if you're watching, but I also feel like, oh, he only wrote that nice comment because he saw the mean one. So am I really funny?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I really do have this belief that you don't think I'm funny at all.
Why do you think that, JB?
Because you're just like, you're funny.
You always crack me up.
Who
and of
wrote
all the
that?
people I could be with, I choose to be with my little juice box.
Yes, but I think I provide you something much more than humor.
Oh.
I think I provide you stability and birthing hips.
Ooh, juice. Everything I need.
Oh, God. But yeah, New Year's Eve was still good despite that. We were at friend of the podcast, Laura Sogar's apartment, and she has a great view of Brooklyn. So at midnight, we saw awesome fireworks. We didn't even have to go to the rooftop for it. We could just stay in her apartment, look out her windows, and saw all the fireworks that were happening across Brooklyn and Manhattan. It was pretty fucking sick.
It was very cool.
It was very cool.
It was very cool.
I made you watch Andy Cohen.
Did.
But thank God you have a Steam Deck and a Switch, so you were very
I was fine.
good. But I liked watching Andy Cohen get drunk on television.
Yeah, it was
I
cool.
think I like it because of how mad people get
Why do people get
the
mad?
next day. They're just like, Andy Cohen did this and said this, and because the reason why they weren't able to drink last New Year's, so for 2023, they weren't able to drink because the year before for 2022, Andy went off about Ryan Seacrest, about the mayor. Like he was like 11:30 p.m. drunk at 8:30 p.m. So it was like real off the rails. It was fun. It was really fun. And then no one watched last year because we were like, he can't drink. Guess we'll switch over to the fucking Dick Clark fucking. Did you see the New Year's Eve show the last year that Dick Clark did it?
No.
Oh my God.
What happened?
A literal, I'm not joking, Joe, a literal corpse hosted that year's
Oh,
show.
hell yeah.
Oh, I got to show you. Hold on. I'll put it up here too.
Yeah, he's always like he probably looked awful in his,
He couldn't speak. It was horrible. Did you ever watch the Dick Clark New Year's Eve show?
Dick Clark's rocking New Year's
Yeah.
Eve. Yeah. That was like a big thing, and everyone was also like so impressed that he was like still around to do it. But you could kind of tell he was like kind of handing it off to Ryan Seacrest before he died.
Well, he should have handed it off sooner, let me tell you. I don't want to see. They keep having. I feel like they've wiped it from the internet because it was so bad. What was the last year that he did it? I used to watch Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve show every year because every year for New Year's, my brother and I would spend New Year's at our grandparents'.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the basement of my grandparents up, like, if the couch is here, up on the wall you saw like 201, or was it a 1? It might have been a 0. Oh yeah, it was like 200, I think like 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like each year we just kept them up, and each year instead of taking the number down of the year, we just added on a year. So it's 200 like 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, that's funny.
What? My grandpa would sit there and be like, anytime a celebrity would come on TV, he'd be like, "Oh, that guy's so liberal. That guy's so liberal." Yeah. So it was 2012. Ryan Seacrest and Dick Clark co-hosted.
Okay.
And it was bad. 9 unforgettable moments. No, he looks too good in this one. His face literally was like coming off.
Then can you like look last Ryan Seacrest or last Dick Clark New Year's?
I tried.
What he said? Oh.
What was Dick Clark's rockin' last show? Oh yeah, 2011. Yeah.
So this was it?
Yeah. Oh wow, Brittany. Wait, no.
Oh, he made a comeback. Didn't he have like cancer or some shit?
Yeah. He was fucked up.
Nice.
I can't find it. It's sad because he was like the New Year's Eve guy.
Right.
And he obviously like was very proud of it. But my God, there's a funny Christina Pazsitzky bit on YouTube, or not, on Netflix, from her special Mother Inferior, where she like does an impression of him, and I think ended up getting in trouble for the bit because she was like
making fun of a dying man.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, Christina P.
Comedy.
Will you ever learn?
Yeah. What else? Our families met.
Worlds collided.
Worlds did collide.
The Gormans and the Taylors.
The high class and the low class.
Yeah.
The
How'd you feel about it?
Beverleys met the Hillbillies. I felt great about it.
Yeah.
I felt really good about it. I definitely got the feeling of like my parents like your family. I think your family likes my family.
Yeah.
But I could see how both of them, upon spending more time together, will find things to get annoyed about each other. You know how that goes?
You got to keep them separated.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, thankfully, they're coastally separated.
Whose family would you like to spend time with more? Your family?
I'm
or my
sorry,
family?
I got to go with the evil I know.
Yeah?
I got to go with the evil I know.
Yeah?
Even though I get, like, fancier outings with your family, like Broadway shows and, you know, nice dinners.
Yeah.
My family is just, like, it's just nice talking shit.
Yeah,
I
Stockholm
just love
syndrome.
talking shit. Yeah, Stockholm syndrome. What about you?
My family.
Exactly.
But it's different.
You
Like if your family bought me nice things all the time and like took me to all these like fucking plays and shit, it's like, oh hell yeah.
No, with my family, we just go to the movies and
watch TV at home.
watch TV, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah, that's fun.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. You mean you'd rather hang out with your sister instead of my brother?
Not necessarily. But if
So that's what you said.
If Amy will like pay for dinner and stuff.
So you can be bought.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Anyone can. That's the I mean, like if you're in a situation where like you have to hang out with family. I mean, like if no one was paying for anything, I wouldn't want to hang out with either of them.
Well, you don't pay for anything when you hang out with my family.
Yeah.
Because there's something of
Nothing, yeah, it's like homemade food. Let's go. Let's hit up Applebee's.
No, not all homemade food. We buy pizza.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I want pizza now.
No, we went crazy last night.
I know. Oh yeah, I was actually going to go to Papa's again.
No, you can't go to Papa's.
I'm just going to get halal. I'm just going to get halal.
I mean, you can get whatever you want. 2023, I said I was going to be nicer to myself.
And you should be nicer to your boyfriend.
I'm nice to you.
You're all right.
You're not nice to me.
I do what I need to do to keep you in check.
Well, it's not working.
Well, I don't want you to think you're so perfect and so lovely you can go on and be with anyone.
Believe me, I don't think that. I definitely don't think
Well,
that.
I can't take that risk, my love.
Yeah.
I can't take that risk, my little muffin.
You do a good job reinforcing that I'm a nobody.
Hey, JB. Just
Oh.
relax.
Mm. Anyways.
Our parents met. We had Christmas.
Yes, we had Christmas. Thanks for my gifts.
You're welcome. Thank
Did
you
you
for
like
mine.
yours? Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. This is not funny.
That's okay. It's just about putting out content.
No.
You're always so worried about shit.
I know, but it's not funny.
But we can just always take
Especially because I posted I posted the episode that you and my little brother did in the Discord, and one of your people that I like wrote, "Is this one actually going to be funny?" Because I guess your first episode that you did wasn't funny, according to him. I know. I need to not care what one person says.
Yeah.
But in mine, it's like a cockroach.
It might be trolling.
But it's like a cockroach. It's like if you see one, oh man, there's thousands. So if there's one mean comment, there's thousands.
And there's good comments too.
Yeah.
So.
The Babastuses. But there's only one Babastus.
It's also
to eat all the 1,000 cockroaches.
But I feel like a lot of times it's they'll say stuff, but they don't really mean. They might just try to get a reaction. You know.
That's
and
true.
Most importantly, who gives a fuck?
That's true.
The most important thing of all, who gives a fuck? I don't. You
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So forget about it, juice box. Just take it easy.
Yeah.
Now you're all in your head about the shit. We can also just cut out the lulls and shit.
That's true. But that's editing.
I mean, that's what all podcasts do.
Yeah.
Most major ones.
Where they're like, oh, I don't know.
They find ways to cut it. Otherwise, you get a Joe Rogan 4-hour thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And who wants that?
Who has the Google Drive space for it?
I haven't listened to one episode of the new Joe Rogan.
I know.
Since it's been on Spotify. I'm getting rid of Spotify soon.
I have listened since it's been on Spotify because there's specific guests that I want to watch, but not like I used to.
I used to follow him all the time. I just
Same.
it's been so different since he's just been on Spotify.
Yeah, completely different. It's he doesn't find things funny like he used to.
It's I feel like he's less accessible now. He's just a little more closed off. It's like Howard Stern being on Sirius.
Yeah.
Where it's okay, well, you're kind of closed off from a majority of your audience.
Yeah. Were you a big Stern listener?
Not really. My mom would listen to him when she was driving us to school, and she would just be like, "This man's awful. He's just burping into the microphone." It's
This man's awful.
You don't have to listen to it. Why do you have him on?
Yeah, why is
then?
she listening to it?
It's
you had to pay
because
for it.
she likes the guest is what she says, but
Yeah.
you know.
She probably thought that what Stern was doing was funny, but didn't want to show you kids.
Right, the example he would set.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Didn't work out very well for
Yeah.
you.
Fucking Howard Stern. The fucking first podcaster in many ways.
Truly. My mom was a big Stern fan, but I don't remember her listening to Stern.
That's
a
so
lot.
funny.
I think I was too young. When he was in his prime.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember watching biopics and his book being in the house and
Private Parts.
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I never read the book. I saw the movie and it was all right.
I saw the movie.
But it was oh, he's just playing himself.
Yeah.
Which is also funny.
Yeah.
I guess it's it makes sense, but it's also you're gonna play yourself 20 years ago, and it's
I mean, I would do it.
it wasn't bad. I would cameo in my biopic.
We should see that'd be funny.
I would, how I would do it is I would play an old. Ideally, I would be an old version of me, but I would be the Princess Bride, where I read my bio to my fucking grandson.
Yeah.
And then he's wait a minute, Grandpa, what's all this discrepancy? It's is that Grandma? It's no, that was just a woman I met back in San Francisco. Well, why'd you include that in there? Don't you think that's kind of? I think that would be the best thing for me. That's how I would do it. So it would be me as but then an actor playing me in the flashback in the story.
Right. But Grandpa,
Yeah.
Why are you saying so many slurs?
Yeah. Do you really mean that? What you said about black people?
No,
Damn.
dear. It's all a bit.
It's all just a goof.
It's just a goof.
We're just fooling around.
Do you read books by comedians?
I used to. I read a lot of them. I read like Tracy Morgan's I Am the New Black. I read My Bookie Book by rapist Russell Brand.
You
Alleged
read that
rapist.
one?
Yeah.
You read that one? Why?
I thought it was, I just got to consume all of it, you know?
Yeah.
So I read like a lot of those.
I didn't even know he
books.
was a comic.
Russell Brand.
Like when I first discovered him, I thought he was that actor from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I mean, he was, but
which
yeah.
is a great movie.
That was his like breakout role. Well,
Right.
that was when he made it big in America.
Right.
And then like it was like, oh, we got to check out some of his stand-up.
But I didn't even realize he was a stand-up. Like I feel like Russell Brand being a stand-up is one of those things where I know it to be true, but I forget.
Right.
You know, and I so consider him just like this guy with a podcast that people that are anti-vax listen to. Not that I don't even know. Is he anti-vax?
Yeah.
Oh, which is fine. That's
He's like,
cool.
take back your freedom.
Yeah.
Take back your freedom.
The deep state is saying I raped those women.
Yeah, it's like, he did that thing where it's like, if they say I did this, I'm probably going I said something a little too close.
I don't know if it was Reductress or The Onion or Hard Times, one of those satirical headline websites where they were. I saw this thing that was like, alleged rapist Russell Brand. Everyone confused that alleged rapist Russell Brand isn't already considered a rapist. Like when that came out, it wasn't like, oh, we're waiting on information about Russell Brand. I thought that was already out there. You know?
Well, people are coming forward now.
Do you think he did it?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Oh, he just had a little bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
I
I'll
read
call it
Chris
a joke.
Farley. I read the Chris Farley book.
Is that a good one?
That was a fun one. What else did I read?
Do you think these people had ghostwriters?
Yeah, absolutely. I read Artie Lang's book, Too Fat to Fish. That was funny.
Was that a good one?
Yeah. Stanhope's one was really good. Steve Martin, Born Standing Up. That was a good one.
I'm not a big reader.
I read a lot of those, but I read all those in San Francisco.
Yeah.
When I moved to New York, I haven't had the time to read. It's been so hustle and go.
Oh, yeah. So go.
Just nonstop. So it's like I don't have time to read a book.
Totally.
But I do have a Kindle. I need to like start making use of it.
Yeah.
I have all these books on it.
I read Tina Fey's
Oh yeah, Bossy Pants.
Bossy
I never read that
Pants.
one.
That was good. I liked it because you talked about being on a cruise for a honeymoon.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I was on SNL. And she's like, I didn't get recognized once on the cruise. And that really upset me. I was like, you admitted to that. Okay. Which is cool because it's honest. And I would probably feel the same. That cruise ship also almost sank. When
Oh
she
my
was on it.
God.
I know.
Thank Christ it didn't.
And that's all I thought about when I was on that fucking cruise.
Is this crash at
Is
any
this
minute?
thing gonna sink? Yeah. And Tiffany Haddish's book I read,
Black Unicorn.
The
Or
Last
whatever.
Black
Yeah.
Unicorn. Yeah, that was pretty good. It was like a lot of her stand-up bits just told as
a
stories.
story, yeah.
Which I thought was a little odd. Is that common?
I mean, like that's all George Carlin brain droppings was
okay.
like his stand up, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really meant to be a bio. It was just like
Mhm.
I wrote a book.
Right. I think there are a few other books that I own, but like I never read, and I can't remember who
Good
they
for
are.
you.
That's my thing. I own the books.
Nice.
I don't necessarily need to read them. I want to read them though.
They're just
I feel
there,
like I
yeah.
feel like an idiot, like a bona fide idiot,
not reading them.
not reading.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it sucks.
like and I feel better about myself when I read.
That's why I'm glad I have a Kindle because at least it's like okay, well, at least it's not taking up physical space.
That's true.
You know? And I can still read. I'm
No,
still getting the
mine's all
knowledge.
taking up physical space.
Yeah.
Just a piece of shit.
That's okay.
I'm just a piece of garbage.
Hey, knock that off, goof.
New Year, same loser.
Same cycles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Finn is asleep.
he's out.
I love that
Looks
for
like
him.
he doesn't need to go out later.
He does need to go out later.
He doesn't.
He does.
He's okay. He's fine.
He does. He wants halal food.
Oh, really? Well, I was going to go get halal.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Damn.
What's wrong?
I don't feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
In
no.
general or
No,
just right now?
I physically feel fine. But I just don't mentally feel well. You know?
Maybe you need a mental, like, a little vacation.
Yeah, vacation would be nice.
We should go somewhere.
Where
We
do you
should
wanna
go
go?
upstate.
Upstate.
Yeah, why not?
Where
Upstate New York.
Yeah?
We could take the train. Just like a little place for the weekend.
Yeah.
Just somewhere to go. Unplug. Maybe we can even, like, get Finn and take him to a dog-friendly hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And we can all go. Bubs will have the house to himself.
No, we have to get a Bubs sitter.
Why? For the weekend?
Yeah. You can't leave Bubs for 2-3 days.
I think you can.
I don't know. Let me Google it.
I think you can. Honestly, I feel like if you have, like, enough, like, we might need an extra litter box for him. But I feel like you can keep. I feel like cats can be, like, on their own for up to 3 days.
Let's see what Google AI has to say. However, some cats can be left alone for up to 24 hours if fresh water is available.
So I said.
I've never left him longer than 24 hours. He's done an overnight. But I don't think I could do 2 days. But we don't need to have a specific sitter. We could just, like, ask someone in the neighborhood, like Claire or somebody to come in and, just check on him. Just say, hey, feed him food,
Check the litter box, make sure it's
Yeah.
there.
Make sure he's still alive.
Perfect.
He's so sound asleep right now. It's so cute.
He's a heavy sleeper.
I know. I have to say, he is so he reduces anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, just looking at him being so content, you're like, oh my gosh, something about here must be right.
Yeah, it has, like, the effects of, like, jellyfish. You know how, like, if you can, like, look at jellyfish swimming, it can be soothing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Bubs has, like, a calming effect.
Do you think the sleep meditations that I play at night is positively affecting you?
I don't think it has any effect on me.
Really?
Yeah.
None whatsoever?
I don't think so.
Why?
I don't know. What some of the things they says in it, like, I'm good enough.
I oscillate between using, like, a like affirmation one, all the same guy, Jason Stevenson.
Okay.
But like, I'll do the affirmation one. I'll do, like, the sleep talk down hypnosis one that he does. I'll do, like, attracting greatness, manifesting self-love. I don't think any of them are working on me. Never mind
damn.
you.
Yeah, so it doesn't work.
It has to work.
Okay. All right. All right.
It has to work.
Then it works. It's working.
Then I might, like, what is the point of being here? Well, I mean, the whole
What
point.
do you mean?
The whole point of being here is to not have to do it again. I feel like if you kill yourself, you have to redo it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That would suck.
I know. That's, like, the one thing that keeps me from, like, not.
You're the one person that figured out you reset.
Yes.
Game over.
Well, I'm not the one person, but I'm one of the people.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Do you think you die and then you just, like, come back through a birth canal with, like, no memory of your past life? Or do you think you go to, like, a place where you, like, can review your life and chill?
I think I think it's the latter, where you review your life and then you go back and then you're like, okay, this time I'm going to do it as, like, more of a chill kind of person. Or, like, and you get, like, little flashbacks, like, sometimes, like, a sense of deja vu or something. I feel like that's, like, when you've experienced a previous situation in a previous life.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it comes back to you again when you die, so you're, like, even more well-rounded the next time you go back to your central hub or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's too complex for my, like, pea brain to handle. But I think what happens to your soul after you die is affected by what you do here. Like, not like a heaven or hell sense of the word, but, like, what your mortal soul figures out affects what happens in your ethereal soul. And if you don't figure out what you need to figure out here, you have to keep coming back and redoing it.
Yikes.
Yeah. And so, like, you have to keep learning. Like, your soul can't ascend to a higher vibration unless you've, had your conscious mind woke up a little bit more.
Okay.
A lot bit more.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, if you really figure it out, you can like move things with your mind. But that's just manifestation. That's just manifesting.
Damn, Juice.
Yeah.
You afraid of dying, killing yourself?
Not afraid of killing myself because I know I'm not going to.
What if I kill you, but it's what you really wanted? Does that count as suicide?
Assisted suicide?
Yeah.
You just write my note being like, she wanted this.
This is what she wanted.
I know, because I know best.
Don't worry,
her.
guys. Don't look into this too much. This is what she wanted.
Or it's typed out.
Yeah.
Am I afraid of dying?
Yes.
Anytime that I felt like my life was in imminent danger, I didn't want to die.
Juice.
You know, if you think your plane is crashing, you don't want it to crash. You know, if
Right.
you're about to get hit by a car, you don't want to get hit by the car. So sometimes I am afraid of dying. Sometimes I'm very afraid of dying. And then I have to go through periods of like not smoking and, you know, just not being too in my head. And I worry a lot more about other people dying. Like I can't get done with hanging out with my parents like after a holiday without having this like dread that they're gonna die.
Oh shit.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially as they get older. But I was always worried about like a car accident or something happening to take away like my parents or my grandparents or my brothers.
Wow.
You know. Or Finney. He looks dead. Did you have a fear of that? Of like your loved ones dying?
No. And like I've lost like, you know, I lost like my grandfather on my dad's side. I lost aunts and uncles, but it's just been like, okay, well, that's what happens.
Yeah, I haven't gone through enough death for me to be like, you come out on the other. I mean, I guess I have, but like not significant enough. I shouldn't say that, but I know people that have lost a lot more people, and they've like, you know, are still here to talk about it. But there is that sort of feeling of like, well, that was a horrible thing, and I got through it. Like, I was really close with my grandma Betty, my mom's mom, and she died like soon after I moved in here. And I think that kind of helped with like the, oh, you know, your grandparent died. Like, it's like, well, I think if I was like still living in New Jersey and Saraville, it would have been like way harder to get through. But, you know, I was talking about this with my mom. We were like, we feel like we miss her more now as like the years have gone on.
Oh.
Because I think there's just more that happens that, you know, they're not here to see.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you always look back on, you always canonize the dead. You always canonize them. Like, the things that have happened that it would have been nice for Grandma Betty to be here for, she would have such negative shit to say about it, you know?
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that because she's a bad person. She's awesome. But, you know, it was always like, it's like if she met you, she'd be like, oh, he has a belly. You know, she would say shit like that, you know, like, you know, she would always say something, oh, he's so short, you know?
Damn
like,
right, Betty.
Yeah, thanks, Betty. You know? But yeah, I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah, I guess I fear more. I care more about other people dying. I should have said you.
Juice, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, you never know.
I might die soon.
How are you going to die?
Suicide.
Come on. Not really.
Probably heart attack.
You always say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Juice is the big one. We'll see what happens. I'll probably live to be like 100.
You probably will.
I feel that. I honestly do.
You're probably going to completely, like, dysregulate my life and be kept alive longer.
Probably.
By means of a lot of money.
No. Just machinery.
Would you do assisted suicide if, like, the...
If you died, yes.
Come on, for real.
Yeah. If you died. If you died, I would be like, all right, party's over.
No, stop.
Hook it up.
No.
Yeah. I'd be like,
Goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky.
That's what it's about.
You were more
That
than
song,
just a short time.
That song's about assisted suicide.
Yeah.
Is it so? Taylor Swift is in favor of assisted suicide.
I think she would be.
Yeah, why not? Like,
because
what else
it's
you got
ethical.
going on? It's fun.
How are you for, not you, but how are people for the death penalty but not assisted suicide?
Yeah, because they believe in like a soul, some goofy little thing. It like doesn't make sense. It's like it's
Yeah.
all like biblical intentions. Like you can't abort a fucking fetus. You know, it's a person, but you can like fucking kill a fucking person that's on death row because they broke the law.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what law? And it's like this law we wrote.
A
It's like,
traffic stop.
yeah, it's like, well, who decided?
And they
that?
happen to be black.
Yeah, who decided that law? You
Yeah.
know? It should vary.
It should vary.
I believe in that. I believe in no laws, though. Really.
You say that, but I feel like you want some laws.
I want some laws, but only the laws that protect me.
Yeah.
Laws that
specifically.
protect me, okay. Laws that protect others, whatever.
Nah, it's fine.
Whatever.
Where are we at?
1 hour.
1 hour, 5 minutes.
We did it, Juice.
It's been 1 hour and 5 minutes of dead air.
It's been 1
1
hour
hour
and
and looked
5
at me.
minutes. All right, calm down.
Who did you miss most from the In Memoriam on New Year's Eve?
Chandler Bing.
Do you think?
No.
Nah.
He was the one that probably affected me the most, I
They
guess.
could have used a better photo. I gotta say.
Yeah. It's like, dude, give us classic Chandler.
Yeah.
You
Give
know?
us the Matthew Perry that we, know and love.
Yeah, not
Maybe not, season 5 Friends.
at least
but
like Sunset Strip,
yeah.
Matthew Perry, you know?
I would say
Fools Rush In, Matthew Perry.
what do you think is gonna be, I'm trying to think of who died in 2023 that I was like, no. Who do you think is gonna die in 2024 that's gonna shock the nation and the world?
Joe Biden.
I mean, that's not. Listen, if I was a betting woman,
Right before he was about to get like fucking sworn in.
who was saying it? It was some comic that was saying that the presidency is keeping him alive. I think
That's
it was
funny.
someone that I saw at the cupboard. I don't know what I was about to Google.
Person whose death would maybe LeBron James.
Oh
Another
God.
helicopter crash.
Oh God! Stop that.
Who else? Travis
These
Kelce.
choppers, man.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
ACAB. All
They-
choppers are bad.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, their fucking private jet crashes.
That's another fear I have.
Yeah.
I think about Taylor Swift, one of her many jets crashing more often than I care to admit.
Well,
Because I think about myself. We watch these shows where people are in private jets.
yeah.
And it seems so luxurious, but I'm like, those things crash.
Not always.
I feel like they crash more often than...
But I feel like it's
they
because
crash way more often than commercial planes.
well, I feel like that's like because like, they're kind of at the beck of this person. That's like, get him off the ground now.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Like, it's like how La Bamba died.
Yeah. And
Well, that was a helicopter, I think, but I
but still,
digress.
like, it's like, whereas with American Airlines, like, well, we have to do all these safety regulations. Sorry.
That's true. What about that plane that had a crash landing in Tokyo?
That's cool.
You saw that?
No.
Oh my God, Joe!
Crash landing.
It was a commercial airline flight flying into Tokyo, and it crashed on a Coast Guard plane. All 5 people in the Coast Guard plane crashed. I mean, died. But everyone on the Tokyo flight, the commercial Tokyo flight, survived. But it was like engulfed in flames.
That's crazy.
I'll show you.
Damn, that sucks. This podcast is just you showing me stuff.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Look what I found. It's like, okay, cool. My little investigator. Whoa, that's a crazy fire. Damn, that's insane.
Right? I'll put it up on
Yeah.
here. It's right here.
That's crazy, man.
Right? I wish they had footage. I haven't seen it of like the actual crash. I used to be so deathly afraid of flying.
Yeah, but now
And
that
then I got a job in corporate America, and I realized, an airplane is the only place that they can't get me. Because I never buy the Wi-Fi. And
Nice.
they didn't have Wi-Fi on planes when I was younger.
damn.
Oh, yeah. See?
Yeah, look at that.
Boom.
That's wild. God, the people on that flight are like, well, I guess we're in for a delay.
I saw a video from inside the plane, and everybody was just kind of like no mass hysteria. The Asian people really are very mild-mannered.
They just take death. Like, oh, I guess I didn't plan on a hattie catty today.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, what is it called? Isn't that crazy? It's just a big fireball.
That's wild, man. I hope it all worked out for everyone.
It did. I mean, not those 5 people in the Coast Guard.
Oh,
flight.
no.
But, like, it landed, like the nose of the plane, like, look at that.
That's wild, man.
It's crazy. Like, the nose of the plane was, like, on the ground. Planes are crazy. It's a big-ass flight, too.
Damn, dude. Japan Airlines.
See that?
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it would, and if it was in America, it would be like all over the news.
I know. I feel like it's, like, not in the news.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, maybe they wasted
I
it.
saw this one thing, but I didn't read the article because I was at work. But it was like why these people survived. Also, I saw this one thing. I think it was on TikTok that was like, you can survive a plane crash because planes don't really fall out of the sky or explode in the sky, but most crashes are like landings and like takeoff shit like that. And so there are ways to survive a plane crash, and apparently all people that have survived a plane crash have paid attention to the flight attendants when they're doing their safety protocols. And
Doesn't
I
seem worth it.
never pay attention to that ever.
I mean, you fucking go the first time, you know what happened. Just pull on your fucking seatbelt.
I know, but and they read the flight card.
Yeah.
Like the thing in the that shows you like how to do what you're supposed to do.
I would survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it would suck to be in a plane crash. Like, I just hope. Do you ever come across like something like a plane crash from like, you know, the 90s or early 2000s and like start to like look into everything that happened with it, like different like.
Not really.
My brother Frank was really obsessed with plane crashes all the time, and so he always watched it, and I hated it, and now I so get it. It's kind of like 9/11 footage. It feels a little bit like ASMR for like your brain. And
just seeing people die.
No, not seeing people die, but like seeing like the destruction and like just it's
soothing.
It's not soothing, but it's satisfying. Like seeing like a 3D rendering of a plane crash like in the middle of the sky. I wish I was smart enough to remember. That's another thing. My memory is shit. There is this one plane crash I was looking at TikToks recently about that was like the early 2000s. It's a airline that's no longer around. Was it? I don't remember. And it just like was flying and then like exploded. Not necessarily exploded, but like, it like the way it, you know, it's going, and then it something happened where the plane, you know, was falling out of the sky and it like fell like this, so it hit the ocean.
Oh shit!
On its back,
nice.
Like on its top, and I was like, I watched that and I'm like, at what point did everybody die? Like, is it when they go like this? Like, did they break their necks? You know, like, were people alive to the moment of impact, but like passed out because of like the velocity?
The pressure change, you're right.
You know, like I just want to know at what point was the life lost, because if you're gonna go on a plane crash, you're gonna go on a plane crash. But I just want it to like, I don't want to see fireballs. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm falling out of the sky. Like I just want it to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm eating my little, you know, chicken pasta or whatever food it is that you get. Let's be real, it's going to be on an international flight that you crash, and it's just gone. Not like, oh my god, oh my God. Baby's crying.
Finn's coming to comfort you because he's
I know.
how
I
upset
know.
you were.
Now I'm going to dream about a plane crash. I've been
Oh.
dreaming about those lately. My hair's been falling out in my dreams, and planes have been crashing.
Uh-oh.
What does it all mean?
I don't know. Better find out.
I guess that's it, man. I tried to save it at the end,
We
but
did. We saved it.
thank you for listening. I got to put an episode out every week, and this is that episode. I appreciate Sorry I wasn't funny. I don't know how to be.
Well, I'll teach you.
Thank you. All right. I guess where can people find you? No one's listened this long, but
Instagram, Twitter at Joe W. Gorman. All my links for my podcasts are there as well.
this episode's coming out Friday, January 5th. On January 27th, we will be at Centric Brewing Company in Connecticut, Portland, Connecticut.
Yep.
With Alex Tomaselli and Stephen Wolf and UB Thomas and Ryan Dempsey.
Ryan Thompson.
Ryan Thompson. And Joe has a new podcast, the Unnamed Podcast.
That's right.
With Alex Tomaselli and Stephen Wolf.
Check it out. It's on my YouTube page.
What do you think you're going to name it?
I don't know yet. Maybe Joe Gorman bullies everyone.
I think the Joe Gorman Experience.
The real ass Joe Gorman.
The real ass Joe Gorman Experience. I think that's the name. And you were on Real Ass Podcast earlier this week.
It should be available, hopefully.
It should be available.
Yep.
Right? Maybe it's coming out tomorrow.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. I don't even know what day it is. So look out for that. Follow me on Instagram. Hello, this is Kelly. Follow the podcast on Instagram. I Feel Fat Today. New episodes every Friday. Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.